Okay. And testing. 1, 2, 3, and... That's not supposed to happen. Ah, that explained it. I accidentally picked a slime ball. Let's see how things went wrong. Hi, this is the Cat's Library, and I'll be your librarian today. I started out with the animation technique that I used in the last animation video with my dragon character, and with the setting where I could change the length of the frames. It was very inefficient because new frames were always 20 seconds long, which is my rough estimate. Anyway, it was much longer than 1 second, which is usually what I wanted. The premise of this series was that a lot of sources said to start animating with a bouncing ball. I like starting new artistic projects by trying to make what I have in my head without worrying how difficult the thing is at first, which is why I made All's Fair in Cat Treats and War, and the head turn in the first animation video. Most sources online suggest a bouncing ball for a subject, because of the simple yet varied timing, or squash and stretch, or something. I didn't actually listen to the sources about why exactly that was the advice they were giving. There is this one source that I watched a bunch of videos of that I was thinking to myself, I sort of want to do something like that, and then I subconsciously took more elements than I wanted from that. It's still its own thing, but it's still pretty close to the inspiration. I'm not going to say the name of the channel because I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to plagiarize or get the guy's attention or anything, but if you Google slime flipbook, you'll probably find it. When it comes to why the ball didn't bounce, I think that what went wrong with this animation is that the ball didn't go down all the way and instead splashed against the ceiling as if it were hit by some sort of anti-gravity ray. I did think to myself that I should look at a water drop for reference, and then I didn't do that. I don't remember exactly when I decided not to look up a reference, but it just sort of happened. My first attempt at drawing the impact was too slow and squishy. It ended up looking like the slime was reacting against the anti-gravity ray. My second attempt, I think, was after I switched to the frame-by-frame setting, and I figured out how to turn on onion skinning. Apparently Photoshop does have that, and I found it all by myself without looking it up. There were some very interesting shapes that were in the second impact that I had to delete, and that hopefully aren't too visible with the footage sped up. I think the ones that I kept looked like a strawberry with the leaves folding in on itself. If this was water, I would put more splash on the impact, but since it is slime, then it sort of fits to hold on to its structural integrity. In the dragon animation video, I may have pointed out that the head became significantly larger in the last frame than the first one by complete accident, after I specifically made a circle in the background the exact size I wanted the head to be, and then turned it off and forgot about it. This time around, I shrunk the last few frames after the rough animation was done. I'm not sure if it completely makes sense that the mass of the first frame sphere matches the dripping one at the end, but it is closer to accurate than it was before, and I was conscious of that being a problem. I asked for some feedback on the animation a couple of times throughout the process, and afterwards I adjusted the drips at the end to fall faster. Before they were just floating there, and come to think of it, that might have worked with the anti-gravity, but this looks better and it demonstrates a different movement speed than anywhere else in the animation. I thought that everything looked too glitchy and shaky and was worried that I'd have to double the amount of frames from just over 100 to just over 200 in order to remedy this, but when I played it back in the editing software, then it ran much more smoothly. I drew a room background and shrunk the whole animation down so that it would be to scale that I wanted. If it is a typical 8-foot ceiling, then the slime ball is probably gigantic, possibly 1.5 to 2 feet in diameter. It is still visible, so I don't view this so much as a mistake than a weird fact that I'm pointing out. I'm thinking that I'm going to use this background again with future test animations. The color might have to change so that different colored surprise spheres can stand out from the background. I also spent a surprisingly long amount of time drawing the surprise sphere box because I wanted it colorfully rendered. I oddly added a bunch of colors to it and it still looked pretty beige for the longest time. I suppose this may be useful for future reference, that even simple things have a lot of color to them. I like colors, that's why I keep saying color. So here's the animation again, just so that you can fully take it in. Here is it one more time without me talking. Hey, do you guys think that the cats without tails would be more or less afraid of heights? Rats, I messed up that take. Anyway, I'll hopefully get the narwhal and octopus videos done by the end of the month, for those of you who know what I mean. However, it is December, so who knows. See you when I see you. Bye!